Has this happened to you? You get into a car accident, call your insurance company, and feel confident because you've been paying for what they called full coverage. But then they tell you you're not covered the way you thought you were. You're injured, you're out of work, and suddenly you find out you're on your own. I'm here to tell you full coverage is a myth, and I see people find that out the hard way every single day. Hi, I'm Patrick Hassett, an attorney here at Kelly Law Team in Phoenix. One of the most difficult parts of my job is sitting down with someone who's been badly injured in a car crash and having to tell them that there's no insurance coverage to help. And it happens far more often than you'd think. Why? Because people are under the false impression that they purchased full coverage. But in reality, the term doesn't mean what most people think it does. Let's clear something up. Full coverage is not a legal term. It doesn't guarantee that all your losses will be covered after an accident. In most cases, it just means you've got the bare minimum liability coverage that Arizona law requires, and may be comprehensive in collision to fix your own car. But here's the catch. Liability coverage only protects other people when you're at fault. It does nothing for you if someone else causes a crash and they don't have insurance, or if they don't have enough. That's where people get caught off guard. They assume they're protected, but they don't have uninsured motorist coverage. They don't have underinsured motorist coverage. They don't have medical payments coverage. And then they find out, sometimes too late, that there's no help coming. I can't tell you how many times we've reviewed a client's insurance policy after a serious crash and had to deliver the news that they're not covered, and the at-fault driver doesn't have any coverage either. And there's nothing we can do for them. That's an incredibly painful conversation to have, because these are people who are in pain, who can't work, and who are watching their medical bills pile up. Despite what they believed about their insurance, they're now stuck with no way to recover. The truth is, Arizona has a high number of uninsured and underinsured drivers. If you don't have your own safety net built into your policy, you're taking a huge risk every time you get behind the wheel. Good news is, it's easy to check your coverage. All you have to do is look at your insurance declarations page. That's the part of your policy that lists exactly what coverages you have and in what amounts. If you don't see uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage listed there, you don't have it. If you don't see medical payments coverage, that means it's not there either. These aren't expensive coverages to add. In fact, they're usually very affordable compared to the protection they offer. Uninsured and underinsured coverage steps in when the other driver can't pay. Medical payments coverage helps you handle medical bills after an accident, no matter who was at fault. These are the safety nets you want in place before something bad happens, not after. Insurance companies love to sell you the idea of full coverage, but at the end of the day, that phrase means almost nothing unless you actually review your policy, make sure that the right protections are in place. Don't wait until you've been injured to find out what your coverage really looks like. Take 5 minutes, look at your declarations page, and call your insurance agent if you have questions. And if you've already been hurt in a crash and you're not sure what your insurance covers, call us at 602-283-4122. At Kelly Law Team, we'll review your policy for free, explain what options you may still have, and fight to make sure you're not left paying the price for someone else's mistake. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand your coverage a little better, give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more legal insights from our team. And remember, full coverage isn't full unless it protects you.